Put down your work and pay attention. The one and only Dipset legend, Jim Jones, just lost it, and it was all captured on tape. Here's the worst part, though. This isn't a small fight. No, this is a full-scale assault against a battle so vicious you won't be able to speak. It's more than simply drama. Scandal with a capital S is what this is. Rappers have argued in the past, but this is unprecedented. In a dramatic public altercation, Jim Jones fights Cameron out of blind rage. The video has gone viral more quickly than a wildfire, and the internet is already on fire. That isn't the most startling aspect though. Only a few hours following the tumult, Jim Jones is taken into custody. Yes, you heard correctly. Like in a movie, the police swooped in. The question now is, what actually took place behind closed doors? Was this merely another conflict? Or is there something far more sinister hiding beneath the surface? Keep checking back, because what I'm going to disclose will make you wonder about Jim Jones in every way. You won't believe the twisted truth, I promise. Controversy is nothing new to Jim Jones. As time has gone on, whether it's through his music, antics, or public feuds, the Harlem rapper has earned his reputation for stirring things up. However, what just took place? This most recent instance involving in this never-ending drama between Jim Jones and Cameron. It's like an unexpected plot twist. Everyone believed that the hatchet had been buried long ago, but it doesn't seem to be the case. At first glance, it appeared to be just another conflict that might have been resolved in private. However, as everyone is aware by now, nothing remains confidential when it comes to the rap industry. What was meant to be a calm discussion between two erstwhile allies quickly devolved into a violent confrontation that left one man handcuffed and the other injured and scarred. This fight's video has gone viral. Right now, it's the only topic of conversation. Jim Jones, who has a reputation for being a harsh guy, is currently at the middle of a scandal. Nobody anticipated it. The sequence of events leading up to this altercation is still unclear. Here's what we do know, though. Cameron and Jim Jones having spent years together in the public spotlight. First, as a member of the legendary Harlem rap group, The Diplomats, which created a dynasty in the game and gave us numerous singles. However, as with many high-profile alliances, things began to go wrong. Grievances from the past reappeared. Conflicts at work turned personal. And before long, they were more than just partners. They were adversaries. For years, Jim Jones and Cameron have been embroiled in a public dispute. And this most recent event is only one more development in their ongoing conflict. However, things went too far this time. The altercation happened during a meeting that was meant to be private. According to reports, Jim and Cameron were attempting to resolve their disagreements and perhaps even reconcile to their origins as a couple. However, it swiftly turned into a physical altercation, according to several accounts. They were conversing one moment, and then Jim Jones reportedly charged at Cameron, throwing him to the ground and delivering a barrage of vicious blows. The fight was brief but fierce. Reportedly taken by surprise, Cameron attempted to defend himself, but Jim was to a lot. He had the advantage, and the video, which has since been made public, shows Jim punching wildly, knocking Cameron to the ground, and not stopping until the damage was done. This is not your typical celebrity altercation. It represents all the things that have gone wrong in their relationship throughout the years. It's the result of years of conflict, unsolved problems, and awful blood. Furthermore, the fact that this altercation was captured on tape cannot be disregarded. The video is all over the place. It can be found on social media. It can be found on news websites. It is always being discussed, shared, and reposted. The world is watching as Jim Jones, a man who has a reputation for being aggressive and even violent, lets out his fury on a former business associate and friend. What will happen next is the question at hand. Let's discuss what transpired following the YA battle. Jim Jones was not merely permitted to go this. Oh no! Authorities became aware of this occurrence, and Jim was taken into custody less than 2 hours after the altercation. The police showed up at the scene following an anonymous tip, alerting them to the occurrence. Jim and Cameron were in a state of disarray when the police came. Jim, who had been the aggressor, was immediately taken into custody. The charges: violence and simple assault. But it's never that easy, particularly with someone as well known as Jim Jones. Let's now take a closer look at this. Although Jim Jones has previously been embroiled in a number of legal disputes, this time is different. The public is paying close attention this time. Naturally, the media has exaggerated this, but the reality: Jim Jones continued to assault Cameron. The video is currently available and won't be removed anytime soon. Questions increase as more people view it. What caused this? Was there more going on here? Or was it really just a disagreement? Anonymous people with knowledge of the matter claim that this was more than merely hurt sentiments or a miscommunication. No, this was a full-fledged tantrum. Jim became enraged and lost control. However, why was this about something more than the animosity between two artists who were once brothers? Or was there a more complex plot going on? According to people close to Jim Jones, this fight might have been triggered by more than just words. Was there anything Cameron said that set Jim off? Did he go too far? With Jim's remarks? Or was there another underlying problem that we are currently unaware of? There have been rumors that discussions had place before the event. Discussions about unspoken issues, past grudges, and commercial dealings. But was that the real reason for this fight? Or is there more? A couple unnamed individuals claimed that Jim had been under a lot of personal pressure, and years of suppressed rage, annoyance, and hurt lead to this altercation. Regardless of whether this is accurate or not, Jim Jones led the way in a way that nobody anticipated, and he is now suffering the consequences. This incident is being looked into by more than just the police. Rumor has it that the aftermath from this confrontation is being handled behind the scenes by both Jim and Cameron's teams. According to sources, Cameron has been talking to his attorneys about filing charges as Jim's attorneys are frantically preparing a defense. Here's the worst part, though. Rumor has it that the entire altercation was planned, or at the very least, purposefully incited. Some claim that it was all just a publicity gimmick to keep these two's names in the news. Is that possible? Is this a new chapter in the Dipset drama's ongoing story? Time will tell. But let's not overlook the aftermath, which is the true result of this. Jim Jones is more than just a rapper. He is a cultural symbol, a brand, and a person whose every action is watched by the media. His reputation is being harmed by this altercation and his arrest in ways that go beyond just legal accusations. Critics and admirers are ripped. Jim is being defended by others who say Cameron pushed him too far. Some are criticizing him, claiming that this is the last straw in a string of poor choices. What will happen to Jim Jones next? What will happen to Cameron next? What does this signify for their future in the field? This is just the start, people, and believe me, things are about to become even more bizarre. So you'll want to stay tuned for the next half of this tale. This battle has far-reaching effects, and they're not going to be attractive. The public's comments are pouring in from all directions, and the consequences from Jim Jones' violent altercation with Cameron is far from over. It goes beyond the physical. No more fighting. It has to do with everything that will follow. Fans are split, legal teams are forming, and the media is having a blast. However, let's take a closer look at what transpired following the arrest and how things are getting out of hand for both Cameron and Jim Jones. The internet went crazy as soon as word got out about Jim's arrest. Social media was overrun with memes. It wasn't your typical jokes though. This was not like the others. Both admirers and detractors started to doubt the fundamental basis of Jim's persona. He had been the self-described tough guy for years. Strength, dominance, and untouchability were central to his entire persona. However, in front of the entire globe, that image was now destroyed. Is it possible that Jim's years-long dominance of the rap culture was really a front? Was he simply an unable man? Manage his anger. Let's examine the specifics of what goes on behind the scenes. Though, sources with direct knowledge of the matter claim that Jim Jones's arrest is only the tip of the iceberg. His and Cameron's teams are frantically trying to deal with the aftermath. According to a number of people who have come forward, Jim's team is controlling the damage at rapid speed. According to reports, they have contacted a number of significant media outlets, advocating for favorable publicity to offset the unfavorable coverage. Jim's violent outburst is receiving a lot of attention from the media, which is quite concerning for his commercial transactions, including prospective partnerships and sponsorships. Will businesses still wish to support him? Is his brand doomed? Cameron, on the other hand, is allegedly enraged. Insiders claim that he feels personally insulted by Jim's conduct, despite the fact that he hasn't spoken much in public. This was a betrayal as much as a physical altercation. They used to be like family, but now Cameron is reportedly carefully weighing his options. According to reports, he investigating the idea of suing Jim for the assault. It's unclear if this will result in a lawsuit, but Cameron has a solid case given the footage that has already been made public. Let's discuss this altercation's legal ramifications. What does Jim Jones's arrest signify for him going forward? First of all, accusations of assault and battery are not something to even for someone as well known as Jim. Take it gently. Even if he has an expensive legal staff, there is still a chance that he will suffer grave repercussions. Prison term is still a possibility. question, particularly given the significant involvement of the media. Remember that the public response is intensifying daily. Jim may have a protracted legal battle, according to some legal experts. It is evident from the attack's video footage, which has already been introduced as evidence that the altercation was quite violent. Jim is shown punching Cameron repeatedly in a fit of passion, knocking him to the ground and not halting until the harm was done. According to experts, this kind of action could result in more serious charges, and if things go wrong, Jim might be subject to a fine, probation, or even jail time. However, Jim is more than just that. Must be concerned about. The wider ramifications are extensive. Rumor has it that Jim's management group, his label, and even his closest friends are re-evaluating their connections with him, renegotiating his contract, even ending his business partnerships, and even going on a public apology tour are all being discussed. Jim's least desire is to lose his business empire due to a pointless fight that could have been prevented. However, it is already too late to repair the harm. As the court drama unfolds, the public's opinion, a considerably darker brush, is being used to paint a picture of Jim Jones. The days of the swaggering, cool-headed rapper that everyone loved are long gone. Jim is now viewed as a guy and a wild cannon, who lashes out when things don't go his way because he can't manage his temper. Is this what he intended to leave behind? Or is this only another phase of his downfall? But hold on, there's more. According to people close to Cameron, he won't stand by and allow Jim get away with it. According to reports, Cameron, the witty artist with a sharp tongue, has been making his own calls. There have been rumors that Cameron has asked other prominent people in the field for guidance on what to do next. According to reports, he is thinking about making a public declaration saying might reveal even more information on Jim's behavior that hasn't been revealed previously. Let's take a moment to think about what Cameron stands to get from this. In the rap game, Cameron is already a seasoned veteran, and this altercation might make him even more so. He might become well-known if he chooses to file charges, portraying himself as the victim in this tale. Jim could become the antagonist of the narrative due to the media's and fans' compassion. Cameron might benefit from the publicity he receives to be perceived as the more composed, calm person, while Jim is left to handle the consequences of his behavior. However, we must take into account another aspect of this scenario. What if there's more to this than just a personal conflict? What if Jim's behavior wasn't just motivated by his resentment or animosity toward Cameron? There are speculations circulating that Jim might have been intoxicated during the fight. Jim may have been drinking prior to the encounter. According to people with knowledge of the matter, could his impaired judgment have caused the outburst that has now destroyed his reputation? Although this notion is just that a theory, it would undoubtedly help to explain why Jim would act in such a careless and destructive manner. In the meantime, the world is awaiting Cameron's next action. He is reportedly considering taking legal action, but he is also thinking about taking this opportunity to publicly address the drama. An Instagram post, a tweet, or even a YouTube video might completely change the story to his advantage. Cameron is aware that he must conduct this delicate dance with caution. If you make one mistake, the whole thing may backfire. What will happen to these two men next? From here, where do they go? Jim has an unclear future ahead of him. Will he reconcile with Cameron? Will he be able to restore his reputation and reclaim his position in the rap industry? And Cameron, would he use this as an opportunity to file charges, or will he let the matter settle and go on with his professional life? We are witnessing the disintegration of a long-simmering public conflict that is poised to explode. This is far from over. I assure you, the consequences of Jim Jones's arrest are getting worse every day. Everyone is wondering what will happen next. Will Jim be able to save his reputation and career, or is this the start of his demise? What about Cameron? How does he deal with the fallout? The story is one that's just getting started, but the effects are already being apparent. First, let's discuss Jim's defense. Jim's legal team hasn't been doing nothing despite the strong proof of the attack. Sources close to the case claim that they are making every effort to obtain a lighter sentence, or possibly even have the charges dropped completely. Arguing is one of the tactics being discussed, that the fight wasn't planned. According to reports, they contend that Jim was provoked and that a long-standing conflict between him and Cameron was the cause of his response. Can this claim, however, be supported by the film, which shows Jim punching and refusing to back down even while Cameron was on the ground? Time will tell, but it's obvious that Jim is making every effort to prevent incarceration. Public opinion is changing in the meanwhile. Once ardent supporters of Jim's tough man persona are starting to wonder if he really fits the part. He used to look like a model. Jim's inability to manage his temper is being ridiculed in the vicious meme culture surrounding his arrest. The atmosphere is one of disappointment, as his hitherto devoted followers are starting to desert him. It's a big cry from the time when Jim was the hip-hop community's untouchable, legendary figure. He's simply another, now, a warning on how easily things can fall apart. Hip-hop enthusiasts and celebs have all voiced their opinions in the fierce social media response. A few have visited Jim's defense, stating that although his acts were terrible, they were the product of years of unresolved frustration and that everyone has a breaking point. Some, on the other hand, lack empathy. Particularly outspoken are Cameron's supporters, who accuse Jim of betraying their bond. That's not how true friends attack one another. One person tweeted, "Jim Jones simply revealed his actual nature." In the meantime, Cameron is taking the long view. Although he has been keeping quiet in public, he is making movements behind the scenes. According to legal experts, Cameron is carefully considering his choices and determining whether to file a case or just wait for everything to settle down. There are rumors that Cameron might choose to be kind and permit the judicial system to deal with it. But some think he intends to take a more forceful stance. Regardless of the situation, one thing is certain: he won't readily absolve Jim. In terms of business, Jim and Cameron's situation is becoming more complex. According to reports, Jim's record company is worried about the harm to his reputation. Sources claim that although they haven't released any official statements, they are debating how to distance themselves from the dispute. Jim is in a risky situation because his business transactions are now being questioned. Will he stop receiving endorsements? Will he no longer have the chance to work with other artists? Everything is in jeopardy, and as time goes on, it appears increasingly likely that Jim's empire will fall apart. Regarding Cameron, but things are a little different. He has returned to the public eye as a result of the entire process, but it has also made him face some difficult realities. The media has been covering him extensively, both favorably and negative. Some are praising him for avoiding a public dispute, while others wonder whether he's just waiting for the ideal opportunity to retaliate. Clearly, Cameron knows how to take advantage of the media, and he's waiting to decide what to do next. When the dust settles, though, it's crucial to keep in mind that this isn't just a personal dispute between two artists. It's a reflection of a broader culture that elevates aggression and violence in hip-hop. The concept of being authentic and capable of throwing down when necessary has been the foundation of the rap game for many years. However, what happens if that mindset becomes excessive? What happens if a fight is caught on camera and the repercussions are worse than anyone anticipated? Industry insiders are starting to raise these concerns in the wake of Jim's arrest. Jim's actions may serve as a warning to the hip-hop culture. According to others, these days, it's more than simply bravado and songs. It has to do with responsibility. Anyone may fall from grace the way Jim did. The query is, will this be another tale of a rapper gone bad? Or will it spark a more general discussion about how hip-hop culture handles conflict? The effects of Jim's actions are still being felt as of right now. Legal disputes are only the start. In the upcoming months, the impact on Jim's career will become more apparent as public perception continues to change. However, one thing is for sure: nobody in the hip-hop community will ever forget this particular event. What about Cameron? What will happen to him next? The impact of this struggle won't only be felt while Jim is by Cameron and Jim. The entire rap game will be affected by it. Their dispute has sparked a more extensive discussion on hip-hop violence and the individual repercussions of a culture created on ego and hostility. The story is still developing and will have a long-lasting impact on the hip-hop scene. It's unknown if Jim will be able to while some admirers think his fall from grace is irreparable, others are hopeful that he will grow as a person and learn from this experience. In any case, Jim Jones has demonstrated that hip-hop stars that are considered untouchable can be brought down by their own deeds. Will he get back up, or is his dominion coming to an end? There is little doubt that this story is far from over. We'll be keeping a close eye on the story as it develops, and we'll make sure to keep you informed at every turn. Let's leave you with this for the time being though. What do you anticipate happening next? Will Cameron win, or will Jim Jones recover from this? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Moreover, that's it. An exciting tale that never seems to end. However, we would want to hear from you today. What do you anticipate happening next? Will Jim Jones recover? Or is this the last straw? Will Cameron make the most of this opportunity, or will he simply move on? We would like to hear your opinions. Let them go. Let's start the discussion in the comments section below. If you liked this in-depth look into the most recent hip-hop controversy, please hit the like button and subscribe for more shocking and intense stories, disputes, and exclusive behind-the-scenes glimpses. Remember to click the notification bell so you'll always be the first to know when we release new material. Believe us, you don't want to miss what will happen next. Tell your friends about this video so they are also able to participate in the activity. Who doesn't enjoy a delicious meal? Scandal. Keep checking back because this story is still ongoing and will occur here, providing you with the most recent information. Until next time.